Hello friends, my name is Vas Solo. I'm a recovered drug addict and alcoholic and a certified meditation coach. And the big question is, how can people like you and I, who are in recovery from addiction, who want to be happy, joyous, and free, what are the things that we need to do in order to be successful and to grow into who we are meant to become? That is the big question, and this show will give you the answer. In a way, the solution to all of our problems is very simple. If we make a concerted effort to seek God, rather than being caught up in the distractions of the world, then we are going to find everything that we want in life. And it's simple, but it's not that easy. Because again and again, the world pulls us into it by making these sweet promises to us, by promising us that happiness, by promising us that peace, by promising us that security that we can only find once our consciousness is rooted in the divine. This is the totality of the spiritual path, picking God over the world. Over the last 4.5 years, I've gone through these cycles of really making that concerted effort and being truly aware of the goal of life and what I want, which is to know God, which is to grow spiritually, which is to be truly free. And those times where I've been sucked into the world and I might still be doing my meditations and still listening to spiritual books, I still have an intention to grow spiritually, but I'm starting to give more and more of my time to the world and with the wrong kind of attitude. Perfect example would be this past year, where I started to work on developing a new business, and I got into investing for the first time ever, because when I was an addict, I had zero time for finances or building a business or any of that stuff. I was just basically trying to, tread water and not drown. And so I got involved in that, and I didn't get involved in it with the right kind of attitude. It overwhelmed me. I started to become fearful. I started to pay attention to the stock market, and all of that completely lowered my state of awareness and drew me into the world. And I felt myself having this battle. When I would sit down to meditate, it would be difficult for me to surrender all of my attention to God, because my mind would still be racing with all of the events of that day and all of the concerns of that day. And then we also had the lockdowns and all of this political turmoil that was happening, which I was also getting sucked into and going too much on Twitter, for example, and reading comments and forgetting that, as my teacher said, Paramahansa Yogananda said, he said, we're not here to make this our heaven. This is a school for the soul, or a testing ground, where we are being tested by God as to whether or not we truly want God, or we want to stay here and continue to be involved in the minutiae of the day-to-day life, and if there are lessons that we still need to learn, such as, having a certain amount of money is not going to give you that ultimate satisfaction, because no matter how much money you have, it'll never be enough. Just as an example. And so I am happy to say that in the last, I'd say, week or two, coincidentally after having been sick with COVID and actually really lost that connection, I've been making much more of a concerted and conscious effort to really devote my time and attention to the spiritual path and to navigate the world with the right kind of spiritual attitude, noticing whenever I start to become fearful, or I start to doubt things and the power of God, or I start to lose faith and I start to control and try to manage things, really noticing them and letting them go right away before it spirals out of control. And I can tell you that, simply just staying off of Twitter and avoiding the news has allowed me to stay in a much more uplifted state of consciousness, and to really truly experience that joy that comes from being in that state when the mind is free of that fear, doubt, and uncertainty. So it's extremely simple, but it's not easy. And this is what we're here to learn, at least from my experience. So I just wanted to share that with you and encourage you, if you're in one of those times where you feel disconnected and it's very difficult for you to pull yourself back into that place where you are connected and you're truly growing, then understand that if you keep always in mind that what you truly want is God, and even though at this time you don't have the energy or the motivation to fully commit yourself to your spiritual practice or to a certain way of life or to a certain attitude, as long as you have the desire to do so deep within you, don't let that die. And just keep reminding yourself day to day. And if all you could do is pray and ask God to help you, then do that. Because at some point, you're going to get sick of being in this worldly state of dissatisfaction, fear, doubt, uncertainty, and everything else. And you're going to have that moment of clarity that's going to help you to get back on the path again. And once you do, you'll realize that everything is absolutely fine, and that all of that stuff that we worry about, it's only just a consequence of being disconnected and not having faith in God. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Joy to you.